Gaffer, not the result we wanted tonight. Is it the nature of the goals though in the first half that's ultimately not allowed us to get something on the road?
Yeah, it is, but I really don't want the fans to think that that's acceptable and that's what we want to be. You know, we keep talking about what we want to be in the future, and it's not that. We don't want to concede goals like that. That's not the remit to concede goals like that. We want to play, and as I said, I'm sure the club and make it clear why we want to play a certain style of football to grow the club and be sustainable for the future. But that's not part of the remit. That's just a couple of poor decisions. And unfortunately part of the learning, but that's not the remit we send the players out to do, and it hurts and it hurts them. But I just want to assure the fans, especially the ones who have made the journey again, and the ones at home who couldn't, that that's not what we want to be and that's not what we're going to be. And I can only apologise for those 2 goals because it's killed the game for us.
Yeah, you've just spoken about it on Radio Derby as well. It's ultimately not just about tonight. It's about the process and how we get our football club to ultimately play the style of football, and it's about the longer picture and what we want to see. It
is, but you know, I have to also reiterate that that's not part of the picture. You know, that's not part of any successful club's picture. There, when it's time to put it in Rose Ed, it's time to put it in Rose Ed. And you know, so I'm not going to defend that, but I'm also not going to throw these boys under the bus because they're fantastic and I love them, and they are going to make the future of this club very bright. So unfortunately it is part of the learning for tonight. It's not what we wanted because I felt we were well in the game. We did have to sustain a little bit of pressure before their first goal, but we've done it well enough. And yeah, we've caused our own problems, but the second half is where we've got to be.
Yeah. Anyone who comes to that game, particularly if they did arrive at the second half, would never believe that would have ended a 3-1 scoreline to ultimately Reading.
No, and if anyone was here at the end of the game, no one would have thought they'd won the game 3-1, as I said, and they're doing a lap of honour to about 150 people, because the second half we were very, very dominant. Yeah, we got caught a couple of times, a bit open, but that's what we want this side to look like. We want to be aggressive, we've got to have a nasty streak about us, and we've got to be effective, and we've got to play all sorts of football. We want to, as I said, I'm not going to talk more about the style, but we want to have a mixture of football. In the second half we had a mixture, and that allowed us to carry a threat. There's still lots to work on in the final third, but that's what we've got to look like, Rob. But we've also got to get a bit of a narcissist, because I'm sort of learning that certain things aren't maybe going to fall in our favour. You know, when there's a first 4 games you think things might even themselves out, but when there's a pattern, same as if there was a pattern in our play, that my job as a coach is to sort that out. I realise there's a pattern in certain things that go on in decisions, that maybe it's because we're little old Burton and I didn't have a stellar football career, that maybe we just have to swallow it and we need to get a little bit nasty.
Yeah, obviously we changed the formation slightly tonight. It's the first time I think we've seen 4 at the back this season. How do you feel it all shaped up? Yeah,
and it was just we did it, but for this particular game, I don't think it made us any more solid. It was just for this particular game we thought it would work. We wanted to get certain threats in certain areas, and that will be, as I said, when things become more cohesive, that will be an asset for us, because I do believe we can come out of shapes and play different shapes, and it won't affect sort of how solid we'll be in the future. It will just give us what we need. So that was the reason for tonight.
Yeah, but again, like you said, it's little learnings that are going to keep coming. Like you said, there is the argument that the lads should have put it in Rose Ed. Are you learning? Do you still feel like everybody's learning day by day about the processes and the styles of playing, the things that we want to do, that ultimately we will get there? Yeah, and you want it to happen as quick as possible, because you know, as I said, you've got to keep yourself in football matches, and you know, Saturday was the same from a set piece where we didn't see jobs through. When we were at 0-0, we're totally in it, and tonight the same at 0. You know, two circumstances that's put us 2-0 down, and they hadn't created a lot. I'm not saying we'd created a lot, but neither team had created a lot up until then, and it just makes it really, really hard. And then unfortunately second half, if we'd got the first before they got the third, then you know, you really would have fancied us to come away with something. So it is part of it, but yeah, but you don't go from A to Z, unfortunately, as quick as you want to sometimes. Yeah, but we've said it before, this side will go into Saturday's game against Bristol full of confidence, playing at home in front of our own fans. Yeah, definitely, but the second half is what I want us to look like, and what we've got to look like. So, you know, we want control of the game. We as I said, I'll let the owners talk about why we need to play a certain style for this football club to be sustainable and go places in the future. But
we also need to be really, really hard to play against, and I thought second half we were really hard to play against, and a bit more quality in the final third. We might have got back into it before they got their third. Yeah.
Okay. Then obviously the fans are fantastic as always. They stayed till the end. You've had a little word with the squad out there. Just a moment on that, please.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know how many fans we had here tonight, but 90% of them have stayed, and you know, that wasn't the case with the Reading fans, where 90% of them are gone. So all I can say is thank you for their patience. I know they'll be hurting and they want to win, but you know, and trust me, we're hurting, but I've never been more determined to do anything in my life than bring success to this football club. So thank you for their patience. It means such a lot. You know, I know at this stage now that there'd be a lot of fans gesticulating and trying to dampen the confidence of the players, so I can only thank them for what they're doing. It means a lot, and when it turns, you know, we'll make sure that patience is fully rewarded.
Cheers, well said. Thank you.